So today our topic is projective techniques and measurement scales. So first we will discuss about the project techniques. So we were discussing on. So we have seen different types of techniques as how we can collect the primary data. So projective collecting primary data. So in some cases, you will have to collect the data from the respondents, which is related to their motives, intentions, their intentions to buy, their intentions to do something, right? Their attitudes, attitude measurement. Measurements. How do you do that? So there, if you are collecting data through a survey, through a questionnaire, you can do it, but they may not be able to answer it. Even if they are able to answer it, you will not get the real picture. Personality, for example, I want to measure the individual's personality. Yes, I can put some question and ask him there how he responds. Giving the truth, that happens, right? So whether he is able to write it. So most of the times what happens is, what we feel and what our intentions, we are not much aware of it. We may not be able to put it in words, right? So it is there inside and we may not be able to realize it. What are our intentions? Suppose if I ask you people, what is your attitude? How is your attitude? Whether you are, optimistic, whether you are pessimistic. If I ask, you can just put something, is it not? You may not be able to understand your own personality. Then how will you write it? How will you write it in a questionnaire for the answer? So questionnaires preparing for personality, the attitude, motives, intentions, can be done, but getting the data may not be that much. You cannot maybe really add some value to your research. So for that, and to understand that, there are techniques to collect such data. So that is called as projective techniques. There are different types of tests that can be done where respondents' attitudes, their behaviors, their intentions, their psychology can be analyzed. So there are some techniques that is called as indirect interview techniques, indirectly trying to understand what is the individual, how he thinks, what are his intentions. So to conduct such interview, anybody and everybody cannot. So there are no specific questions as such. So interviewers, they should be knowing something of psychology, the psychology, right? So only they will be able to frame questions to understand what is the individual psychology. So only those people can conduct such indirect interviews. Maybe given, shown, and what do you feel about this photograph? Maybe asked. Okay. Every individual will be telling something based on his analysis. That is actually a reflection of his thoughts, attitude. So thereby they will try to analyze the individual's personality, intentions, motives. A photograph may be shown, a picture may be shown, a cartoon may be shown, an ink blot is a test. Ink blot is nothing but in a plain sheet of paper some ink. Ink is thrown, some color is thrown, so it will have its own design, right? When you're throwing in what intensity that you're showing, in what angle you are putting that ink, so it will have some design, and that is shown to a person and asks, what do you see here, right? So that person will tell something that comes to his mind. Some people will say it looks like a flower, it looks like a tree, anything like that, right? So that is called as ink blot test. So we will discuss about it. Also, when we are seeing a cloud comes in different shapes. If you have seen, so one person will say that cloud looks like a monkey. Another person will say, no, it looks like a tree for me. Another person will say, look, it looks like a mango. Anything like that, is it not? So why it is that what they are seeing is same, but the answers are different? Actually, they are projecting themselves. So what we speak, what we behave, what we think is actually our inner personality reflections. Is a reflection of our inner personality. How we speak, how we behave, how we act. So if you are an expert in psychology, if you observe an individual's behavior and what he speaks, you can analyze his personality. Got it? So motives, which will help for research. So that type of technique is called as projective techniques. So there are certain different types of projective techniques. Say word association test. One projective technique where a word is given and the respondents are asked, what do you understand by this word? What can you relate with this word? Say maybe cloud. Word cloud is given to an individual and not same answers we will get. Why? Because their personality is different, the way they think is different. They will words and what they mean, what they understand, what they associate with that words. Right? For example, if I am asking cloud, if I ask 10 people in your class, so each one will be giving different answers. Right? So what do you think about when I say the word cloud? Some people will say rain. Some people will think it is water. Some people will say coolness. I feel cool. I associate chill when I think of cloud. So like the different answers I'll be getting. So that is all based on their psychology, personality. Okay. So that is a test called as word association. They will give a set of words, different words will be given, and what they associate with that word would be asked from the respondents. So that is word association test. Then another test is there. It's coming under the projective technique, which is called as sentence completion test. So here, sentence, and they have to complete it on their own. Blank spaces will be there. If a sentence is same half-filled sentence is given to 10 different people, the 10 different in their own way, different ways. Again, it is because of their individual personalities are different. No two person will write the same thing. Correct. So by that way, they are trying to analyze the individual's personality, whether in what way he thinks, whether he is an optimistic, whether he is a pessimistic, whether what are his intentions, right? Like that. So they are trying to measure these personality traits, features through such tests. Then verbal projection tests. So verbal projection means they will give a word and what they understand by that word, what they perceive through that word, what it means. So different words will be given and their meaning will be analyzed according to their respondents' responses. So that way of analyzing the individual personality. Play techniques. A role will be given to an individual. You act like a child. You act like a parent. Role play. You might have seen somewhere role plays, right? Act like a girl. If a boy is there, he will be told to act like a girl. If it's a girl or a lady, they will ask to play like a boy. It depends what they will ask. It depends on what you are trying to analyze. Okay, so that is called as play technique, where individual is asked a role of somebody else. It may be of a child, it may be of a parent, it may be of a mother, father, it may be of a school-going kid, it may be of the opposite sex, a teacher, anything they will ask. So through that they will exhibit their perception about the other person, so what they feel about, right? So like that, so that is play techniques, where different roles will be given and they will be asked to play that roles. They try to analyze the individual personality by that way. Pictorial techniques, in that one test is called as thematic apperception test. Thematic apperception test, TAT. It may be called as TAT. Okay, it may be asked in the test, what is TAT? That is called as thematic apperception test, where a set of pictures is given, and the respondents are asked to construct a story, or they are asked to relate these pictures and form a story. 10 different pictures will be given and the respondents are asked to create a story related to that picture, and thereby they try to analyze the individual's personality. Rosenwick test is another test where cartoons will be given. Cartoons, okay, pictures, cartoon picture, situation given in that cartoon. Rorschach test. Rorschach test is where ink blots are used. In a plain sheet of paper, some ink is put. It will have its own designs, and the respondents is asked and shown that picture as what they find, what do they see in that ink, what things comes to their mind. As I said earlier, it will have its own shapes. Some people will see a tree in that, some people will see a cat, some people that. So actually they are projecting themselves, their thoughts, their what is in their mind. Nothing but their personality is reflected through such tests. Holzman ink blot test, another type of ink blot test where 45 different ink blots are shown. So I said, now first one I said one sheet of paper, some ink is one like that. 45 different ink blots are shown. Okay, and they are asked to tell their opinion about it, what they see in that ink blots. So through that, they will try to analyze the individual's personality. So like that, different type of projective techniques. So that is about projective techniques. Measurement scales. We are involved in data collection. So we are supposed to collect data. So data you can collect in different scales. So fundamentally, there are 4 scales, which is called as nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. So we'll see that what it is. So nominal scale. If you are using a nominal scale for measurement, so what is that nominal scale? So in nominal scale, we just assign, it is something like just assigning a number or giving a name. So it is happening around us. So nominal scales are used. We use it in our day-to-day life. So something like our names. We have names, right? Different names. So that is nothing but a nominal scale. Why we give names to individuals? In the birth itself, we give small baby. After a few days, there is a naming ceremony that happens in the family. Why that particular name has to be given? Why we cannot live without names? What will happen if we don't give names? It will be total confusion. Right? How to communicate? Right? It becomes difficult if people don't have names. Right? Yes, for identification. So names are given for identification. But that name does not have any beam. Beam is a name, but he may not beam. Actually, a beam is a Mahabharata, where a beam is in size, he is huge in size and very strong. But a person who is named beam, here he may not be having any such physical characteristics of beam character, is it not? He may be very thin, he may not be very strong, but his name is beam. Can be like that, is possible, right? So like that we give names. So it is just for identification, and that does not correspond to his any of his qualities, right? So like that. So it is something just a nominal scale, giving numbers to the players. It may be cricket, it may be a football, anything, hockey, anything. You see numbers, is it not? 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. It does not have any association with the performance of the players. If 1 does not mean that he is an excellent player, 2 does not mean that he is something, or 10 does not mean that he is a very good player or he is not a very good player. It does not mean anything. It is just for identification, is it not? So like that. So that type of scales are called as nominal scale, where you give something, give a name or a number, assign a number. It is just a nominal scale. It is for the convenience. So we use nominal scale for convenience, where it does not have any quantitative value. It does not have any value. Cannot do much with the numbers. We cannot do much with. You cannot use that numbers to measure something. Isn't it? Your roll numbers? Roll number is there, or USN is there. A person who is getting the first USN does not mean that he is a good performer. It is just for identification, for convenience. So that number, it does not have any numerical significance. Least powerful level of measurement. So it is least powerful level of measurement. But it is necessary. It is just a Labels. It is just a label. It would simply be called as labels. So for such type of data, if you are involved in collecting such type of data, so in the analysis, data analysis, we will have to use certain statistical tests. Suppose if your hypothesis, the data collected is nominal scale, then you will have to use a test called as chi-square test to test the hypothesis. So here we don't find any difference between the individuals who have been assigned that numbers. It is just for a identification, individual identification. We cannot measure the attitude and skills of an individual through nominal scale. It is just a numbers. That is about nominal scale. Some examples. So how in research we use nominal scale? So you are asking a gender, male, female. So that is just a nominal scale, male, with that name. Represent does not mean blondie, gray, other. All this is just a color that is just a nominal scale. Where do you the places, name of place, geographic location, it is just a nominal scale name. Okay, whether it is a country name, whether it is a state name, India, Japan, it is just a name like a person, individual's name, like that. So those are nominal scales. Next is ordinal scale. So ordinal scale, a very good example of ordinal scale is ranks. Rank that you get. Say in the academics, we see that ranks are given for the academic performers. First rank, second rank, third rank. So here also you see numbers, but it is not the numbers that you used in nominal scale. The players, the numbers are given, same numbers are given, is it not? 1, 2, 3, 4. In rank also you use that 1, 2, 3, 4 ranking, but there is a difference, is it not? Here a person getting a first rank means that it is associated with his performance. The person who has scored highest is getting the first rank. The next person in a race, in a running race, who has come first, who has come second, third, fourth, like that, right? So that is ordinal scale. No attempts to make intervals equal here. So here, if you see, intervals may not be equal. The difference between 1 and 2, first and second rank, and the difference between the second and third rank may not be equal. You don't know, right? Say if I am asking about ranks in academics, the person who has scored first rank and second rank, the mark may be, say, just take an example, 5 marks. 5 marks difference is there for the person who has scored first rank and second rank. The person who has scored second and third rank, the difference may be 10 marks or 20 marks or 1 mark also, anything. But it is 1, 2, and 3 ranks like that. So you are not able to, no attempts to make the interval equal. You cannot make the interval equal. It may be unequal. But ranking helps you understand something, some sequence, is it not? So it is necessary. Ranks are also necessary. Ranking of items from highest to lowest ranking may be given. So you see ranks, star marks in the feedbacks of products in Amazon, rating points, all that. You can see that. No? It's rank order. Real difference between adjacent rank and adjacent may not be first rank and second, third and fourth rank It may not be, the difference may be not same. How much is better, you will not know. How much than the second ranked person, you will not know that. You don't know the interval. It may be 1 mark difference. Half mark difference also, first and second may happen, is it not? Even it is 10 mark difference also, it may happen, 20 marks, any number it may be. But you are not knowing through ordinal scale. If you are using ordinal scale, you will not know that. Of non-numeric concepts like satisfaction. So if you are measuring something like satisfaction, happiness, discomfort, so normally we use ordinal scale for such cases. Example of ordinal scale that we use in research. How do you feel today? Very happy, unhappy, okay, happy, very happy. So it starts from very unhappy, okay, happy, and very happy, like that. So this is an ordinal scale. Similarly, satisfaction also. Very unsatisfied, like that. So this is an ordinal scale that is used in research. Then intervals. So this is a better scale than the ordinal scale. Here it has an arbitrary zero. Arbitrary zero means lack of true zero. Actually, otherwise, lack of true zero means zero. When we say zero, means nothing, is it not? But here, when we say zero, it does not mean nothing. Say, no, example for interval scale is temperature scale. Temperature. So we say zero temperature. Does it mean there is no temperature? Does it mean like that? No, but temperature is there. So temperature may range from plus any side to negative any side. Minus 1 degree, minus 10 degree, minus 20 degree also. Any number it may go. Does it mean that zero temperature means there is no temperature at all? It does not mean like that. So that is what it has, an arbitrary zero, lack of true zero. Zero does not mean that there is a character, the feature is missing there. No. That is there, you don't have a measurement. Temperature is not there means what? You cannot say something like that. Temperature will mean some degree. It may be 0 degree, it may be minus degree or plus a degree, anything. So temperature is an example for interval scale. Equality of the intervals. So you know what is the difference between 1 degree and 2 degree. What is the extent of difference? You will know that, is it not? Which was not present in the ordinal scale. What is so the difference between 1 degree and 2 degree is same as the difference between 2 degree and 3 degree, like that. So you know very clearly what is the interval. Equality of the interval is there. So this is a more powerful tool than ordinal scale. So if at all, if you are using interval scale for measurement of data, and if you are using any hypothesis testing, then you will have to use t-test and f-test testing the hypothesis. So this is an example of temperature. So plus side, it may go to any range, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees Celsius. Left side also, it may go start from 0. Means the absence of temperature, right? So that is interval scale. Then final measurement scale is ratio scale. Ratio. So it has all the characteristics of the previous 3 types of scale: the nominal scale, the ordinal scale, and interval scale. tell us about the order, that is ordinal scale. They tell us exact value between the units, that is interval scale feature. But here addition is, it has an absolute zero. Absolute zero is there here. Everything above interval data applies to this ratio, plus ratio. Everything else is same as the interval ratio. Plus is there, minus also is there. A very clear measurement technique is there. At the same time, zero is there, where zero means nothing here in this type of scale. Example are weight scale, height scale, weight, height, speed. Speed of a car is zero, means it is not moving at all. Speed of a vehicle is 0 km per hour, means it does not move. 20 km per hour, 30 km, 50, 60, 70, like that. Right? So, you know what is that? 20 km, 30 km means it's going in a certain speed. So, you know what is the difference between 20 km per hour and 30 km per hour. So, that ratio interval also is very clear. So, good example of ratio variables include height and weight. Height and weight is the example for ratio scale. These variables can be meaningfully added, subtracted, multiplied, and divided. So that is about the ratio scales. Example, the speed of an example. So that is about the various topics that is covered in the with this we conclude chapter module 4.